Chapter 1, A New Day. New San Francisco. Year 2155, 4:30 p.m. How the hell is it this hot? Oliver muttered as he wiped sweat from his brow. His uniform clung to him, heavy and soaked. The day was almost over, yet the sun refused to let up. With aching arms, he kept digging through the remains of the last orc wave that tried to attack the city. The orcs never stood a chance. Not since the giant Z crystal was installed at the city center. No bombardment had broken the shield since then, but ground assault still happened. That left the wave disposal team to clean up whatever was left behind. Oliver was almost 15, too young for this job, but he had no family and no money. Rotten orc parts at least sold for something. Oliver. What are you still doing here? Your shift is over, the foreman, Mr. Neumann, barked from behind him. Don't ask for extra hours again. Oliver looked up. He did want the extra cash, but that wasn't the real reason he stayed. He just hated going home. No excuses, Mr. Neumann added. A small hologram appeared above his hand, glowing with the same notification Oliver had received that morning. I know what day it is. Yes, sir, Oliver said quietly. He dumped the last carcass into a truck, clocked out, and started walking home. He didn't want the metro. He wanted a few more minutes of freedom. New San Francisco barely resembled the photos from a century ago. Skyscrapers pierced the clouds, and giant LED screens filled every wall. They played endless military news, victories on distant planets, disasters in other cities. Humanity was packed into fortified megacities because there weren't enough Z crystals to protect everyone. A sharp pain shot through Oliver's left arm. It hurts again, he whispered. It always hurt after work. His arm and leg were rebuilt while he was frozen, but they never felt normal. He had been in the tank for 100 years. It saved his life, replaced damaged organs, and kept him the same age, but he woke up 4 years ago in a world he barely understood. He was one of the few survivors of the first wave. He could still see that day perfectly. He had been almost 11, on the way to Seoul with his parents to celebrate his birthday. The sky turned red. A massive triangular ship appeared above the city, covered in strange symbols and pointing two gigantic cannons downward. 1 moment later, Seoul was gone. His parents were gone. His life was gone. He barely remembered being rescued. He remembered waking up in the slums of New San Francisco with nothing and learning to survive one day at a time. After hours of walking, he reached the building he called home. It looked ready to collapse, but it was all he could afford. He shared it with 20 other boys. They protected each other, not out of friendship, but survival. A new Earth Army truck sat outside. That was never a good sign. A soldier walked up to him. Are you Oliver? A nameless from Seoul. Yes, sir. What's this about? Oliver asked, even though he already knew. You turned 15 today, the soldier said. You are required to begin mandatory service. You can report to Base 043 tomorrow. Or we can take you now. Avoiding the army meant prison. Running away meant dying to orcs outside the walls. Fine, Oliver said. Let's go. No need to pack. The battalion will issue everything you need. Oliver glanced back at the rundown building. 3 years of his life, gone in a moment. Again. He climbed into the transport truck. 2 other kids were already inside. One boy was bound and gagged. A girl slept against the metal wall. The bound boy stared at Oliver with desperate, pleading eyes. Before Oliver could speak, the second soldier outside tensed and looked up. 2 long trails of smoke cut across the sky. Ork reconnaissance ship approaching. It's headed straight for the barrier. A deafening explosion ripped through the air as the ship slammed into the city's shield. Flames burst across the sky. From inside the fire, 2 shapes leaped out, gray-skinned, monstrous, falling fast. They hit the ground like meteors and carved craters into the street. The orcs had landed. Chapter complete. Like, comment and subscribe for more.